Whoa! Frequencies, self-destructive tendencies, make the spirit bleed.
Ay, Don Cheto, no me digas.
Almost at the airport. His rides if you need them, or you can take your own whip. This shit got out of hand, homies. I don't know how a low-key car sale turned into an interstate rendition, but that's what's happening. And we don't have to deal with it. Or you is, while I sound orders in this microphone. But that's hard too, man. Shit, I get hoarse. This shit dangerous work. Man, I gave y'all sticky bombs, okay? Hold on to them, cause G's in the wagon. Y'all gonna need to blow up the doors. Just the doors, mind you. Don't blow up G, my nigga. That won't be good. Alright, you got eyes on them? Man, do something about them cops, man, and get G out the wagon.
trash bags, wait for it. Tell Lamar I'm gonna kill his ass. I'm gonna clone his ass. I'm gonna install hydraulics. And I'm gonna take him down to the ground. In all seriousness, because what he's on is, because if it was him, I would do it. Just wait till we talk to him.